This truck is even though the driver has changed from a 2-bedroom and 1 living room to a small single room. The masters of the repair shop still need to repair it. What is incredible is that they can repair the severely deformed beam with only simple equipment. How did they do it? The repair of deformed trucks is very easy. After the cab is basically scrapped, the progress of the unloading process is still very easy. After the cab is dismantled with the help of a crane, they also need to dismantle the severely damaged water tank. After that, they can use the crane to tow the truck to the VIP palace of the repair shop. At this time, the masters have to quickly dismantle the external lounge and then separate the engine and gearbox. They raced against time and quickly removed the obstructing accessories. It is not so easy to correct this deformed beam. Since the hardness and toughness of the beam are relatively high, they directly installed a large modified steel beam on one side and fixed iron chains on both sides of the beam for limiting. Lua wending can be used to support the severely deformed position. During the correction process, the master also needs to use a sledgehammer to hit and release the hard force. The process seems complicated, but it is not simple at all. They worked directly from day to evening. They need to use the sledgehammer to heat and support the beam with the Rowan top inside. They spent a long time correcting the side deformation. The next day, they can correct the deformation at the bottom of the beam. This requires the assistance of the steel beam. The equipment used for correction also uses a hydraulic jack. During the first correction, they will first feel the feeling. During the later period, they will use the level to measure to prevent the beam from deforming and twisting. Because the beam is tough, the control of the correction force is due to this seemingly slight deformation was quietly beaten by them until the evening. In order to speed up the repair progress, they need to install the front axle steel plate group first. Because these steel plates are all original car ones, it is easier to install. The pinholes have been worn in and are very smooth. The next day, they only needed to tighten the bolts of the front axle. The masters on one side also started to install the brake joint. The engine and the gearbox were quickly installed in the right position with the help of the crane. The masters quickly installed the fixing bolts through skilled operation. The brackets for installing the cab also started to install quickly. Some accessories were quickly installed in the right position after a series of head-to-head operations. After that, the masters only needed to use the crane to tow the truck to the open space. Because the interior of this driving is empty, the masters need to install the steering wheel and the gear lever in place. They are installing the cooling fan of the damaged engine. The cooling water tank in the hand is used to cool the engine with mountain spring water. This semi-trailer tractor was also modified by them using 4.2 meters. There is only one drive axle at the bottom. It seems to be scrapped. Finally, it can drive normally. What do you think of the master's maintenance skills? Less points.